at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks closed lower on Tuesday, with the Dow dropping nearly 0.5% and the S&P 500 and NASDAQ each shedding roughly 0.33%. A host of Dow components reported earnings, including United Health. Shares of the health insurer stumbled 7.5% and were the biggest drag on the blue chip index after a disappointing profit forecast. Mike Muscio is president of FBB Capital Partners.
A little bit of a pullback here on some weak earnings numbers from some fairly significant companies. United Healthcare reinstated guidance, but it was below what folks were expecting, so that's weighing on the Dow for sure. And so, puts and takes. It's healthy to have some red days on the screen, as long as they're not too red, but to have some red days to offset some of the green days.
Shares of Boeing dropped nearly 4.5%, despite the plane maker reporting a smaller second quarter loss. Merck's stock dipped more than 1.5% after its quarterly results. The drug maker said it was extending its pause on shipments of HPV vaccine Gardasil to China until at least the end of 2025 due to weak demand. UPS shares plunged 10.5% after the delivery giant again declined to issue annual revenue and margin forecasts, deepening concerns that President Trump's continually changing trade policy is weighing on the company. And shares of Whirlpool spiraled about 13.5% after the home appliances maker slashed its annual earnings forecast and dividend, citing pressure from a pull forward in imports by rivals ahead of Trump's tariffs. Investors now turn their attention to the conclusion of the Federal Reserve's policy meeting on Wednesday. Remarks by Chair Jerome Powell will be closely monitored to gauge the timing of any potential rate cuts.
From the Fed meeting to Mag 7 earnings, it's a big week for markets. Mike Musio of FBB Capital Partners is here to discuss it all. Okay, Mike, we have the Fed policy meeting this week. It's the first one since President Trump made a pretty unusual visit to Fed Chair Jerome Powell last week. The Fed is expected to keep interest rates unchanged, despite lots of criticism from Trump. But what will you be looking for and listening for specifically in the Fed statement and in Powell's comments?
Yeah, so the meeting was interesting, right? It was in Powell's home court, but President Trump is the real estate developer, so maybe neutral grounds there last week. But this week we're expecting more of the same from the Federal Reserve Chairman and more of the same in the wake of that from President Trump. So we're not expecting a rate cut. We are expecting or laying the groundwork for maybe some dissent in terms of the voting for a cut this go around. But unlikely to see a change this month with an indication that they are watching the data, which we get some additional data this week, both on PCE and which covers inflation, and then the labor market as well, which are the two things that they're trying to manage at the Federal Reserve. So setting up for some kind of move probably in September. That's the expectation.
So you mentioned the data this week, the inflation report, and Friday is the jobs report. How much is riding on that, those two key reports? Because we saw the PCE last time drift a little bit further away from the Fed's goal of 2%.
So any move further away from 2% would actually support the Federal Reserve that they're not moving in terms of lowering rates, that the inflation hasn't been licked quite yet. And anything that's moving in the opposite direction toward 2%, that probably favors President Trump's argument that rates should be moving lower. We shouldn't be behind the curve, which is his big critique of the Fed. On the labor front, expectations are still like upper 100, almost 200,000 jobs for the month of July. Again, like if you're the Federal Reserve and kind of full employment, low or lower or kind of trending inflation, they've got enough of a backstop here to be in the same position they've been in all year, which is we're just going to wait and see. And the economy keeps surprising, I would argue, to the upside. Almost 4 months now removed from Liberation Day. Very few people in the marketplace on that 20% almost correction from February peaks to early April would have expected us to be sitting here 4 months later at up almost double digits in U.S. markets, and that's where we are. So investors are kind of looking through this a little bit. They don't want to be caught short or not fully invested in an environment where the market may rip another 10 or 15% higher. And so that's the conundrum that's at play right now.
Well, the Magnificent Seven big tech stocks have still been largely driving this market, and 4 of them report this week. How much is riding on those earnings, and what will you be looking for?
Yeah, so expectations around where these companies are coming in terms of capital expenditures is going to be interesting to hear. Is that continuing apace? Also, what these companies are doing or saying about their own, adoption in terms of not just investment in, but adoption of AI, and if that is starting to impact their labor force, within their companies, that will be interesting to hear. And then estimates as we get on into the third quarter about what the back half of the year and even 2026 is going to look like. So a lot of attention being paid still to these companies, and they comprise not just a large part of the market cap, but a large part of the earnings share of the broader market. So everyone will be listening the next couple afternoons as they report.
So when we do look at those companies this week, specifically we have Meta and Microsoft on Wednesday, and we have Amazon and Apple on Thursday. Any one of those in particular that you're really going to be drilling down on?
Yeah, we think Apple has a little bit more to prove in terms of the numbers. The stock has lagged this year, the broader group and the market, by the way. It's a widely held stock. It's moves between number 2 or 3 in terms of position right now on the S&P 500. So it's a driver, but it's been a detractor in the market and in the space. And of those companies, really the only hardware company of the group. So it'll be interesting to see what they say about the product cycle, what they're seeing in terms of any impact on tariffs anywhere around the globe for them. So that's what we'll be paying attention to with Apple.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Cloudy skies this morning, becoming partly cloudy this afternoon with a stray shower, thunderstorm possible. Highs today in the upper 80s. Partly cloudy early tonight, followed by cloudy skies overnight with lows in the upper 60s. Thursday, rain showers, low 70s. Friday, 1st of August, partly cloudy, mid-70s. Saturday, mostly sunny, upper 70s. Sunday, mostly sunny with temperatures in the low 80s. Meadville this morning at 70 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 69. Titusville, 65. Franklin this morning, 67. Oil City, 66 degrees here at 7:14. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Waking up with Luke and Amy on a morning drill. The sun is shining and all is right. It's the Morning Drill.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Well, foggy conditions where we are, so please be careful if you're out traveling here this morning. Glad you're with us. Middle of the week, a lot to dive into. We got a lot of great guests lined up for today. We're going to hear from Meadville Chamber Director Christa Lundy. They've got a little thing coming up this weekend called Thunder in the City, which is going to be spectacular, and it looks like the weather's going to be great for that. Susan Williams from the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce, she'll recap Oil Heritage Festival that took place this past weekend. We also are going to welcome Mike Crowther and Ben Berger from ERA Richmond Real Estate later this morning. So, yeah, looking forward to that. We talk a lot about, what people are looking for in a home, right? And a lot of people are looking for a little property with land. But maybe we'll get into some of the more commercial stuff as well, because there's a lot of great businesses for sale. And I know you deal with that with what you do. And I know there's always that excitement, right? And I'm sure on the banking side, when you're loaning somebody money, it's exciting to see them get excited about getting into business.
Yeah.
But I would imagine also for the real estate agents, being able to connect, people that want to retire from business or move on or do something else to, selling their what they grew up, or I should say grow up, but what they've, accomplished with their business, and to sell that to somebody else who can take it to new heights, that's got to be exciting to be part of that process as well. So anyways, looking forward to all our conversations today. Tomorrow on the program, we've got, Tamara from the Alumni Association is going to be with us. Also, Sarah and Emily from Drake Well. So, yeah, Friday we get Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson, for the first Friday in the month of August. How about that?
Woo! August.
Yeah. Say that again. August. I ran into a store yesterday to grab some iced tea, and the shelves had Halloween candy or fall-related stuff. It was Halloween candy in the fall, and I think I got you some.
Yes, you did.
You
got me my pumpkin.
Pumpkin something. They also had maple. A new. I think that's new this year. What like Werther's, right?
Yeah, it's Werther's like soft, like the chewy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have that when I was a kid and sat on my granddad's lap, and he would open up Werther's and. Oh no, wait, that was a commercial. Mm-hmm. Yep, confusing commercials with real life again. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, these are pumpkin. I don't say pumpkin spice. They're just pumpkin.
They're just pumpkin flavored.
Okay. Well, I saw maple. What's the other? The
apple.
Yeah, but it's not. It's like the Granny Smith apple.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Yeah, already on the shelves. There's another grocery store, and in town that has had the Halloween candy out. And I think our conversation was, do we start the process of picking up some of this stuff before the prices go up?
Yeah.
Because it seems like it does the closer you get to Halloween.
I'll say it's not like I will honestly say it has never been out in time for the oil festival. Well, no, because it was also out in time for Oil Heritage because I saw some people were throwing it for that, which is like great because, you're like going through a ton of candy. But I'd already pre-ordered my candy.
All right. Big news last night. Tsunami waves have reached Hawaii and the West Coast after one of the strongest earthquakes in recorded history, a magnitude 8.8. Struck off of Russia's peninsula on July 29th and triggered alerts across the Pacific, Alaska, and the entire U.S. West Coast. The waves began arriving in Hawaii after 7 p.m. local time, but initial observations were heartening to officials bracing for major damage in the state. By 10:45, authorities announced that the tsunami warning system had downgraded risk to the state from a tsunami warning to an advisory. There's a live shot right there. Waikiki Beach. You've got advisories going on there. They were saying this thing's so strong that you would think it's only going to hit like one side of the islands. But they're saying because of the strength, what it actually does is sort of wraps around and can hit and impact the entire, each island. So, they were bracing for some major damage there. But let's see. No, and right now, no major reports of damage. So far, they've not seen a wave of any consequence, which is a great relief to those folks. But still keeping an eye out on things. Tsunamis can cause a long series of waves, extensively flood coastal areas, and present dangers that continue for many hours. So certainly not out of the woods there, but keeping an eye out on things. But there's a live shot. Again, just keeping an eye out on that situation and the impact it could have on the West Coast and California, up through, they were saying, Washington. So, and speaking of that, tsunami waves began arriving just after midnight local time, Washington coast, according to the Seattle Weather Service office. But wave height measurements weren't available yet. The earthquake was recorded at 7:24 Eastern Time, about 78 miles east-southeast of Russia. Earlier in the night, President Donald Trump took to social media to warn of the tsunami due to a massive earthquake that occurred. A tsunami warning is in effect for those living in Hawaii. He posted on X, "Stay strong and stay safe." Most areas along the U.S. Pacific coast can expect a tsunami of less than 1 foot, the National Weather Service said just after 10:30 p.m. But even a tsunami of that size can generate deadly currents, the Weather Service warns. So just be aware of that. And, we'll keep an eye on that news story. So another, of course, big headline continues to be the shooting in New York City. And it sounds like it was a former, not a professional football player, right? Just a football player that may have been struggling with
it's not like it didn't. Yeah, it didn't sound like it was professional, but he was, targeting the NFL.
Yeah, for the CTE stuff, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Samantha Bee coming out. I never really watched her stuff. The comedian. Samantha Bee says Stephen Colbert's Late Show was hemorrhaging money and people aren't tuning in. It's a no-brainer. Jay Leno basically said, in a more polite way, that you can't isolate half the nation, and especially when you are in need of ratings and people to watch you. You can't be doing that. And yeah, there's been some other headlines about that where you're seeing. Apparently, he had a rally, or maybe he didn't have a rally, but there was a rally to save the show. 20 people showed up. Yeah. So.
Enough said.
Yeah. Anything else? There's other headlines that we can talk about real quick here this morning. Obviously, weather, tsunami, that's going to be a big one. A federal jury convicted Sean Combs on 2 counts of transportation and for prostitution under the Mann Act. U.S.-China trade talks. I don't know if we have got time. We do have a news story about that. Sort of the truce between the U.S. and China on the tariffs, and that should calm things down for a little bit. How long, I don't know. But anyhow, sort of a truce there. The Federal Reserve wrapped up its July 29th, 30th meeting without cutting rates, despite political pressure. Chair Jerome Powell emphasized the need for more data to address inflation concerns. Markets await further clues for possible rate changes later this year. Does that impact you or people locally at all, do you think? Not.
It could.
Okay.
It just.
Enough said. You don't have to say anymore. You can't really say.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Let's see. We're going to get into birthdays and what we're celebrating here in just a moment. What is it? Today's the 30th of July.
It is.
Like high gear here. What?
Nothing.
A little excited?
Closer to fall.
Well, we do get a break from the warm temperatures after today.
I think so.
It just means you don't listen to my weather forecast. That's all.
It changes. You don't listen to your weather forecast.
I don't. Yeah, somebody will stop me like in the afternoon, like, "Hey, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, right?" Like, I know I read it several times during the day, but I don't know. Upper 80s today. We cool off tomorrow. Low 70s. That's going to be a dramatic change, isn't it? With some showers in the forecast. All right, let's get into birthdays and what we're celebrating here on this 30th day of July, and who's celebrating a birthday today.
All right. Today we have singer Paul Anka, who's 84.
Oh, I think, is it Paul Anka who's the father-in-law of Jason Bateman?
I have no idea. I don't. I've never seen him before.
Oh, you know some of the songs.
Okay, well, I've never seen him before, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure, if you started singing. Actor and politician Arnold Schwarzenegger is 78 today. Actor Jean Reno is 77. Actress Delta Burke is 69. Actor Lawrence Fishburne is 64 today. Actress Lisa Kudrow is 62 today. Actress Vivica Fox turns 61. Actor Terry Crews turns 57, and director Christopher Nolan is 55. Comedian Tom Green is 54. Actress Christine Taylor is 54. Hilary Swank is 51. Actress Jamie Presley is 48. Actress Gina Rodriguez is 41. Actress Joey King turns 26 today. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
That's a lot of birthdays.
Is it weird to think that... I love Lawrence Fishburne. Great actor.
Yeah.
Is it weird to think he... I don't know if he got his start, but certainly one of his earlier roles was on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I didn't even remember that.
Yeah. I mean, is that...
Yeah.
That's kind of... I mean, where he is now and...
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Yikes.
I love Pee-wee Herman. Pee-wee's Playhouse. Wasn't that great?
That was a good show, yeah.
We should have a word of the day. And then whenever somebody says it on the show...
I have a word of the day every
I know you're
day.
not allowed to say it, though. No, we should do a word of the day, and I should plant some things where I could push a button, and if any guest says the word of the day...
We all yell.
Yeah,
and then they run and never come back. That's a great idea.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you.
idea.
Well, let's work on that. All right, what are we celebrating? Let's get to that.
It is Enthronement in Morocco Day, International Day of Friendship, National Cheesecake Day, National Father-in-Law Day, National Support Public Education Day, National Whistleblower Day, Paperback Book Day, Share a Hug Day, World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, World Snorkeling Day, and that's all.
I think your father-in-law was surprised at your golf game.
Your dad, yes.
Yeah, so he would golf with you when you were desperately in need of somebody for your golf team.
Yeah.
Right?
In the beginning, yeah.
Yes. So this is years past. And I think at that time you didn't take golf very seriously. You just went and had fun.
Yeah, there for, yeah.
But now, little Amy here has grown into kind of liking the sport. Is that correct? Fair to say?
I like to hit things. It's great.
I know. But we went out Sunday night, and we took my dad, and he was, I think, pleasantly surprised at how well you hit the ball.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, all right. We're coming up on 7:30 here this morning.
I know. Oh, look, 7:30 on 7:30.
Oh, yeah. There you go. We have the latest headlines for you. We'll bring that to you. Let you know what's going on in the world. And let you know what's going on Wall Street. Christa Lundy, Susan Williams, and our friends from ERA Richmond Real Estate all lined up to join us here on this Wednesday morning. If you're out and about, do be careful. Foggy conditions out there. And keeping an eye out on the tsunami situation. Hawaii, West Coast. There's a shot of Hawaii this morning. So, all right, your headlines are next.
Our number one priority is life safety. And so right now it's an easy thing. Get away from the beaches, get inland, and get upward. If you do live in an area that's within a tsunami area, first and foremost, go to a friend's house, go to a neighbor's house, go to your workplace, but go inward and upward out of the tsunami area.
We would not be doing this if this wasn't most serious at this point in time. So please take this very seriously. And don't go down to the beach. Don't be looking at waves. Get yourself as high as you possibly can.
Swooping in to save you over 11 grand off your next Chevy truck. It's Community Chevrolet's newest mascot, Independence Dog.
Getting you approved by day, fighting crime by night.
With Independence Day savings running all month long, you can save more than 11 grand off MSRP on a new Silverado, or save nearly 3 grand on hot new SUVs like the Trailblazer and the Equinox. Follow Independence Dog to explosive savings this month at Community Chevy.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old, so it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom, ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place, and now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
U.S. stocks closed lower on Tuesday, with the Dow dropping nearly 0.5% and the S&P 500 and NASDAQ each shedding roughly 1/3%. A host of Dow components reported earnings, including United Health. Shares of the health insurer stumbled 7.5% and were the biggest drag on the blue chip index after a disappointing profit forecast. Mike Musio is president of FBB Capital Partners.
A little bit of a pullback here on some weak earnings numbers from some fairly significant companies. United Healthcare reinstated guidance, but it was below what folks were expecting, so that's weighing on the Dow for sure. And so, puts and takes. It's healthy to have some red days on the screen, as long as they're not too red, but to have some red days to offset some of the green days.
Shares of Boeing dropped nearly 4.5%, despite the plane maker reporting a smaller second quarter loss. Merck's stock dipped more than 1.5% after its quarterly results. The drug maker said it was extending its pause on shipments of HPV vaccine Gardasil to China until at least the end of 2025 due to weak demand. UPS shares plunged 10.5% after the delivery giant again declined to issue annual revenue and margin forecasts, deepening concerns that President Trump's continually changing trade policy is weighing on the company. And shares of Whirlpool spiraled about 13.5% after the home appliances maker slashed its annual earnings forecast and dividend, citing pressure from a pull forward in imports by rivals ahead of Trump's tariffs. Investors now turn their attention to the conclusion of the Federal Reserve's policy meeting on Wednesday. Remarks by Chair Jerome Powell will be closely monitored to gauge the timing of any potential rate cuts.
Well, a quick look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Foggy this morning, so be careful if you're out and about. Cloudy skies becoming partly cloudy this afternoon. Stray thunderstorm possible with temperatures in the upper 80s. Partly cloudy, followed by cloudy conditions overnight with lows in the upper 60s. On into Thursday, rain showers, low 70s as we get a break from the heat. First day of August comes Friday with partly cloudy skies and mid-70s. But, boy, does it set up a fantastic weekend. And when you've got an event like Thunder in the City coming up, it's going to be just wonderful. Saturday, mostly sunny, upper 70s. Sunday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Just a great weekend coming up for us. Meadville at 70. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 69, Titusville 65, Franklin this morning 67, Oil City 66 degrees here at 7:39. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Joining us this morning is Christa Lundy, the Executive Director of the Meadville Area Chamber of Commerce. Hi, Christa. How are you?
Good morning. I am well. I am a little tired already, but looking forward to a fantastic weekend.
You get to the few days before Thunder in the City, which is a huge event. Mm-hmm. And what's going through your mind? Is it like, okay, we still got some things we got to kind of finalize, check off, or is everything like good to go?
Most things have been finalized, and we added some new things this year, so of course that's what we're working on. Yesterday, the chamber team, we went downtown and kind of marked where all the vendors will go. Today we're going with the paint to do that and number that for people. So we're pretty much set. We have a lot of food trucks coming. A lot of our restaurants are staying open and putting things outside. We kind of went inside a lot of the merchants yesterday. They're excited. They're like, we're putting stuff on our sidewalk. We're like, perfect. We have some vendors coming. Looking forward to a lot of the same things that we've had year after year, and then some new things this year. We're kicking it off, actually, tomorrow night with the Tool City Summer Night Cruise-In, a little nostalgic event for those of us that used to clean up our cars on Friday and Saturday nights and then go cruise the Diamond and cruise down through town and then stop and visit with people and probably exchange numbers and stuff back then, but it'll just be kind of hanging out and getting some good food from some local food vendors, food trucks that will be in the Diamond. There is also a concert in the park tomorrow night, so there's a couple things happening. So parking around the Diamond will be for the people going to the concert and then people wanting to sit and put their chairs out to watch the cars. So you get to do both if you're going to be there. Lineup is on South Main Street, like the Halloween parade for all the cars that want to participate in the cruise-in. That'll be from 6 to 7. We'll be lined up there. There'll be some auxiliary police assisting us there. Then from 7 to 9, cars are going to cruise around the Diamond, down Chestnut Street, down to Market Street, turning left, coming up, and then back on Park Avenue and back and doing a continual loop from 7 to 9 p.m. tomorrow night. So we do ask that those cars kind of keep their loud music to a minimum from 7 to 8 so people can enjoy the Max Shang concert. He is fantastic, so he'll bring a great crowd as well. And then from 8 to 9, they can be a little louder, and we do have the burnout station actually approved. So we'll put some cones up after the concert's done, and that'll be at 8:30, so people going around there can do that. So that's kicking off the weekend. Then that's a new event, so we don't know if 30 cars are coming or 150, but whatever comes is going to have a great time, and we're looking forward to it. And then we get right into it bright and early Friday morning. So
you posted this. This is really cool. The food vendor lineup is quite amazing.
It is. There's a lot of people there, and actually that's our restaurants and food trucks, and then we've actually added the Bethesda Lutheran Services has a food truck that their kids run, that the students run. So we have added them. So we actually turned away a lot of food trucks. We have enough local ones, and then we have some really great restaurants downtown that are putting food out and having some specials and so forth. I talked to Casey Miller yesterday from Firehouse Tap and Grill. They are our entertainment sponsor, and I know they have the outdoor patio, and they're having some live music Saturday night after Thunder is all over, and after our Fire Dancers, which is another new addition this year. They will be being kind of the grand finale, doing some performance to live music. But a lot happening. Friday, one of my favorite newer events, this is the third year for it, will be the Thunder Power Wheels race in the Diamond. And so kids and kids at heart can do this, and there's like 6 or 7 age groups, and there's a level for if they're just your regular Power Wheels, you haven't kind of juiced up that Power Wheel. A lot of grandparents and parents make them a little faster. There's a separate category for that, because we found out last year that it wasn't an even playing field. So everybody bring your children or kids at heart and your own Power Wheel. We do not provide them. And get registered. Big thank you to Bayshore Homes and Howard Hanna, Bainbridge Kaufman Real Estate. They are our sponsors for that. I have a lot of volunteers helping set up the little racetrack. That will be actually right in front of the police station, down to the corner of where it goes down Chestnut Street. That's a lot of fun, so be sure to check that out. But also, it's First Friday downtown. We have a lot of vendors going to be in town for First Friday, sponsored by MEBA, the Meadville Independent Business Alliance. So check out all the vendors that'll be downtown. We're having live music kicking things off. Clever Norman will kick things off from 5 to 6:30, and then 7 to 9, Jake's Blues. I'm very excited to have Jake back. He's been one of my favorites. I've been here 12 years, and he's in my top couple. He's really entertaining and fantastic. He's looking forward to playing for us. Talked to him yesterday. So that's what's happening Friday night. So all the vendors will be out, and live music, and the Power Wheels race, and First Friday. So it kicks off pretty well.
It's great. It really pulls the community together. I know you've posted some videos. You've been out and about talking to those who are also part of this.
Street Track and Trail, one of our longtime sponsors.
Isn't that great? And just even talking about the Power Wheels event, just families coming together, to get excited about that. And they probably talk about it throughout the year. Like, hey, we're going to, soup up our Power Wheel. We're going to have some fun this year.
And this is the third year. So if you start any new event, it usually takes 3 years. That third year is usually like when it gets really going. People understand. People are coming back from the previous years. They're bringing their friends. So we're really excited about that this year. Looking forward to that. And then Saturday, we are back bright and early by 6 a.m. And I have volunteers there ready to get the cars in and around the Diamond for our classic car show. Looking forward to that. And then we have crafters and vendors. They start at 10 a.m. The Tool City Jeep Jam Dice Run starts at 10:30, and that benefits Cans for Wishes and the Veterans Leadership Program this year. So looking forward to them. And they're bringing their Jeeps in the afternoon, and they will be in the Erie Bank parking lot. The bank is open from 9 to noon. So, and then we kind of take over the parking lot, so thanks to them. But the Jeeps will be in there, so check that out. We have at noon, another one of my favorites, and I think this is the third year for this one too. So, Meadville Master the Mic singing competition. You and I both are big supporters of local musicians. We both have some very talented children who happen to be part of that circle. But we have some incredibly talented people who will be singing. I think we have about a dozen so far, and I know they're still coming in. So if you're listening and you know of someone, please have them email us their little demo of what they plan to be singing. We'll add them to the lineup. We'll add them right until Friday. And we have students young and more seasoned. We have people that play the guitar and sing, people that wrote a song and want to sing it, people that rock out that are karaoke singers. Doesn't matter. Just come sing, and thank you to Armstrong for sponsoring it. $500 is first prize, $250 is second, and $100 is third.
That's great.
So yeah, we're looking forward to that at noon. And 2 o'clock, new this year, is entertainment all day. Sponsored by Bayshore Homes. They're sponsoring that afternoon entertainment. So we have Fred Oakman playing, and then we have Joe Thompson and Jeff Rose, and then Ripper Acoustics before our evening entertainment, which is Me and the Boy, and then Mayflower Hill. So some really great music.
It sounds like it's going to be great. The weather's going to be perfect. It's just going to be so exciting to get it.
Thank you.
Have some great food, walk around, and just have a great time. So,
yeah. You mentioned Brian Lepley and Street Track and Trail there. So we have the Blessing of the Bikes is at 2 o'clock there, and then the veteran-led bike parade leaves at 2:15, and those bikes come downtown, and they'll park down on Park Avenue. Bike parking is from One Federal Credit Union and Firehouse Tap and Grill down to Cherry Alley for the whole weekend. That's bike parking on the street for bikes that want to come in. So that's happening. We have an arm wrestling demonstration happening. Magic Steve is new this year, so he is being sponsored by Smoky Martin's Barbecue. So some more things for the kids. What else do we have? The Jeep show we mentioned. I think we mentioned most things. So we've got Jeeps, bikes, we've got cars, we've got lots of food options, live music the entire weekend. Our merchants are open. Our restaurants are open late. Something for everybody.
Just come and enjoy, have fun.
Absolutely, come enjoy, have fun, and stop by the Chamber tent.
I'm always fascinated by this process, and I think people I talk to are as well, especially those who maybe don't volunteer for things. You didn't wake up Monday morning and say, okay, it's coming up this weekend, let's call people and get this together.
We do not.
Right. So I know this is 10 years into this?
This is the, I think, 16th annual. 16th. And I've been around for 12 of them.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, I was thinking maybe leadership's 10?
Leadership is 15. Leadership is 16, too. So apparently they started at the same time.
I don't know where time is. Anyways.
Time's flying by.
It is. So I realize you're this far into it, but from the wrap-up meeting that you have, which is when?
Next week.
So next week, you have a wrap-up meeting, and throughout the year, there'll be discussions on Thunder.
We've already booked the dates for next year.
So I guess maybe you talk just briefly about this. Things just don't happen the day before an event. Things are well planned out, and there's discussion and committee, and there's a lot of people that make this happen.
Correct. We are in July. Our signature events for 2026 are already booked.
That's great.
We have to do that. They're already booked next year because we are, Thunder in the City has been planned and booked for a year, but we kind of tweak things and can add things if we want to in the last month or so. But it takes an army, it takes a village to raise a child is kind of a saying, and it usually does because you've got the parents, grandparents, whatever, and community But it takes a village to plan big community events. We are very blessed with a lot of volunteers that help, boards of directors, our ambassadors, our Thunder in the City committee, and I am beyond blessed. And my team, Stephanie and Julie, our friends, our family come help, because I'm short volunteers this year. A lot of our regular volunteers have something that they're going to be, I'm sorry, I'm going to be on vacation. Like, a lot of our regular ones are gone. Like, my sister and her 5 kids are coming to help.
Wow.
My daughter has moved home. She's coming to help. My son has a gig, so he can't. But, like, we recruit everybody we can, and we couldn't do these big events without our volunteers. So I am very blessed and very thankful for that. But I hope people realize Thunder is going to be awesome. Like, I'm so excited. It's going to be great. Free community event thanks to our sponsors, but also thanks to those volunteers who run around and sweat all day and help us put up barricades that takes hours to do. That the auxiliary police, we couldn't do what we do without them. So
well said. And by the way, it takes several villages to raise this village idiot. So you're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Christa Lundy with us here this morning from the Meadville Area Chamber of Commerce, Executive Director. Well, all right, Thunder in the City.
I have a lot more happening besides Thunder. That's just the first 2 days.
There's so much going on, and it's an exciting time. Nobody wants to talk about fall yet because they're enjoying summer, right? I mean, unless you don't really enjoy the heat. However, you've got some really fun, big events that come up this time of year that people are like, oh, yeah, I can't wait for that.
We do. Our golf outing is really filling up. I think last week we talked, and I had a lot of openings. I don't have as many openings now. People are realizing the newsletter went out. The August newsletter already went out. People should have received that, and they're getting that. I get email notifications. Last night I got an email that someone booked a table for the Women in Business Expo.
Wow.
And that's not till October, and that just went in the August newsletter, so someone saw it and wanted to be sure to get their space. So, but we have a lot of things happening. Our business after hours is next week. We are going to be next Wednesday night on the 6th, we're going to be at Easy Does It Customs, and there we had a women's group meeting there. We had so much fun. They custom golf carts and ATVs. Ooh. They are located right next to Goddard State Park Campground. They have Derailed Distillery in there, so we're going to have samples of slushies. You can drive the golf carts around, tour their workplace, like the show area there. And great food they have, and they are just great people, Mike and Amanda, the owners, so we'll have so much fun there. It is a little distance away. It's not that far away, but it's right next to that campground, Goddard State Park Campground, and it's right past Wilhelm Winery. But that's Wednesday night, so RSVP for that. And then the next week on the 15th, we have the ribbon cutting at Prestige Shine Detailing, car and boat detailing out in Conneaut Lake, so looking forward to that. And then we have our fair after hours. We have 2 this month, and fair food. What better than free admission and fair food included to this after hours? But you must RSVP in advance. It's 4 to 6. They are normally 5 to 7, but this one is 4 to 6 p.m. and it is Monday, August 18th. And it is sponsored by Bars Insurance and Blue Canopy Marketing. 2 of our board members, Mandy Mahoney owns Blue Canopy Marketing, and Chad Wagner is from Bars Insurance. So there's giveaways, refreshments, networking. You can get your free pass for the fair at the chamber office, but you must RSVP for that. But what a great day. You can go in early, walk around, check things out. We will be there because we're going to go visit with a lot of our members who have booths there and table spaces and just check things out. And, of course, sample some fair food, I'm sure. And then, my goodness, we have a full 2 pages here in the newsletter. Chamber 101, maximize your membership. It's not member orientation anymore. I think that was deterring people that may have been members for a long time. This is learn about chamber membership, what all is included, what all the free opportunities are, what we can do for you, and we want to learn about your business. So that is going to...
And it really, Christa, it really is a two-way street, isn't it? Like,
absolutely.
Like, you can jump up and down and say, hey, let us know what's going on, but if people aren't giving you the information and taking advantage of that situation, or saying, hey, how can we be a sponsor of an event, then there's ways of figuring out ways to be involved.
Absolutely. Yesterday I had a Leadership Meadville meeting with the new LM16 class, And I talked to them and I said, hey, you might not be the primary contact person at your workplace. Let's go over a few things. And I said, remember, in the back of the newsletter, you can put something free in here every month. And half of the people were like, oh, we didn't know you had that. Because they're not the primary contact person. I said, well, now you all will get that information. So share that at your workplace. But maximize your membership. That is August 21st from 8 to 10 a.m. in the Chamber Boardroom. And then our Business Women's Roundtable this month. This is my favorite night of the month. Anyone that knows me, I love this meeting. It is women supporting other women, welcoming, inviting. Great friendships have been made. Great relationships have been built. People are doing business with one another. Every month we end with testimonials. But let me tell you where it's at. It's on the Barbara J. So we're gonna ride around Conneaut Lake and have a tour of the lake and have great refreshments and cocktails and mocktails and food. It is sponsored by Eternal Glow. We're only taking the first 40 people who RSVP, and it's almost full already. So once it gets full, we will have a waiting list in case someone has to cancel that day, but we can only take 40 people. So big thank you to Erica Kibbe from Eternal Glow for having us there and doing something a little different for the Barbara J ride. That is Monday, August 25th, always the fourth Monday of the month, Monday, August 25th. And then the next day is our, yes, look at that.
Boy, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, the lake is my happy place. Regardless of who I am with or what boat I am on, the lake is my happy place.
And no shark attacks this summer, so that's
amen.
good.
Amen. So, and then the fourth Tuesday of the month, August 26th at noon, we always meet at Haas's and have a different speaker each month for our HR consortium. You don't have to be the specific HR person at your workplace. Please join us. Last month we had a City of Meadville update from Mary Menano, our city manager. This month we have a Crawford County update. So we have Crawford County Commissioner Eric Henry, my good friend, been friends since we were, I don't know, in grade school. But he is our county commissioner and does a tremendous job for us, one of the 3 county commissioners. So he's going to give us an update of what's happening in the county.
And he puts the old home days, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, he's very involved in Old Home Days. I didn't get that till a little bit later. Yes, sorry. Sorry, Eric, if you're watching or listening.
Yeah.
Oh, funny. Boy. So, yeah, that is just a few things we're doing this month. And then that didn't even get to the fall golf outing, which is that Wednesday. So August 27th is the fall golf outing. We do have a few spots still open. We have sponsorships. I have a couple big sponsorships that are still available, like our Putt for Booze game and the scorecard sponsor, getting your logo on every scorecard. So we have a lot of things that are still available.
And tickets for the Wine Walk are available.
Tickets for the Wine Walk have already been selling, yes. So that is September 13th. And then that's as far as I'm going to go for now.
Just think, on Friday you'll be able to say, hey, that's next month. I know, you got to get through this weekend.
Yeah, we're getting through this weekend. I'm going to rest on Sunday, and then we'll power at it again next weekend. But it's an exciting month. It's busy. And this is just a few of the many reasons why our chamber grows.
That's right. Christa, good to see you.
You too.
Go to the Facebook page for all the latest updates, and we'll see you at Thunder in the City. Have a good one.
Thanks so much. You too.
For over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate, 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated, we're Triple M Roofing.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh, me. Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm. Again.
All right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
U.S. stocks closed lower on Tuesday, with the Dow dropping nearly 0.5% and the S&P 500 and NASDAQ each shedding roughly 0.33%. A host of Dow components reported earnings, including United Health. Shares of the health insurer stumbled 7.5% and were the biggest drag on the blue chip index after a disappointing profit forecast. Mike Musio is president of FBB Capital Partners.
A little bit of a pullback here on some weak earnings numbers from some fairly significant companies. United Healthcare reinstated guidance, but it was below what folks were expecting, so that's weighing on the Dow for sure. And so, puts and takes. It's healthy to have some red days on the screen, as long as they're not too red, but to have some red days to offset some of the green days.
Shares of Boeing dropped nearly 4.5%, despite the plane maker reporting a smaller second quarter loss. Merck's stock dipped more than 1.5% after its quarterly results. The drug maker said it was extending its pause on shipments of HPV vaccine Gardasil to China until at least the end of 2025 due to weak demand. UPS shares plunged 10.5% after the delivery giant again declined to issue annual revenue and margin forecasts, deepening concerns that President Trump's continually changing trade policy is weighing on the company. And shares of Whirlpool spiraled about 13.5% after the home appliances maker slashed its annual earnings forecast and dividend, citing pressure from a pull forward in imports by rivals ahead of Trump's tariffs. Investors now turn their attention to the conclusion of the Federal Reserve's policy meeting on Wednesday. Remarks by Chair Jerome Powell will be closely monitored to gauge the timing of any potential rate cuts.
Joining us this morning is the President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. It's Susan Williams. Good morning, Susan. How are you?
Good morning. Oh, I am refreshed after finishing another great festival. I think that's my 20th or 21st, somewhere in there. So had a great week. Lots of smiling faces.
It was wonderful. Boy, and you could just tell everybody was so excited that Oil Heritage Festival season was there. There was so much to do. It seemed like everybody had a great time.
They did. It was a hot one. It ranks up there with one of the hottest of my 20 years. I know 2007 was a hot one too. We got misting tents, and we didn't take the time to get the misting tents out this year, but it was a scorcher. So I suspect that affected a few of our crowds out. But earlier in the week, we got had a great start with the kids with the Junior Olympics, and boy, on Thursday with the kids in the plaza, it was just full, and we had a nice turnout for the parade, even with the forecast of rain, and it was indeed an accurate forecast. So we did have a little rain on our parade, but if others were like me, it was welcomed because we were so hot that it really felt good when it started raining. Would have been nice if it had stopped, and half an hour in, but. So we got shut down for our Saturday evening concerts, but everything else went off really without a hitch.
That's great. So when do you sit back and kind of digest everything and then start to say, okay, we got to lay the groundwork down for next year?
Well, we've started doing that already.
Okay.
So, the first thing we do on Monday when we get back to the office, and we did a really good job of keeping up with things during the festival. So where we could put something away in its right place, because there are a lot of moving parts from, signs and supplies and just all kinds of things that are happening during the festival every day. So we tried to get things back in order. But on Monday, that's the day that you get all the baskets out. You start to really gather more things. You count whatever money you have and make sure it makes it to the bank. And then I've been doing my best to make sure that I write down procedures so that we have those for future, and particularly things that go really well, like, wow, that went well, let's just record that so we can remember next year how well that went. So a lot of that has been going on. As you know, Kat is over at Villanova. She graduates today from the Institute for Organizational Management. So we can talk about that a little bit, but with her out, we haven't done full team debrief, but and I've got a couple others going on vacation next week. So that sit down and go through the schedule and say, what do we need to keep doing the way we're doing, and what might we need to consider changes? That's probably a couple weeks out.
Does that start in your office, and then does that make its way out to any volunteers or committees that you start pulling together later in the year or early next year?
Yeah, to some extent. We talk to some of the people that have worked with us. They'll maybe pop in to return some things that they needed from us, or we'll have some things that'll go back and forth. And if we have immediate feedback, we try to give them that right away. Hey, might want to remember this for next year, particularly things that we can help them with, provide them some assistance. But we put notes together after every single event, again, with those reminders. So those are things that as soon as we meet with people next year, we'll include those in. And, to the best of our ability, we try to anticipate what do we know is going to be different next year, or what do we think is going to be different next year. We know here in Oil City, the landscape of some things is going to be a little bit different. Some things we've heard of, and we don't know if they'll come to fruition. We've been waiting a few years for the possibility that our railroad bridge is going to get replaced. How much impact will that have? We don't know, but it is important for us to be keeping that in mind as we make plans. It's one of the biggest challenges of any kind of outdoor event, especially, is that there are things you have to plan for, and you commit a lot of resources, both in your thought process and who you communicate with, which is costly because that takes a lot of time, and then in some cases investing in the things that help you react. So we have to have some plan for contingency, with the hope that you'll never need contingency. And then plenty of people out there with an opinion about your contingency.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's a lot.
Are there any elements of oil heritage that, after you've taken a look at that you say, hey, we can apply this to Cranberry Festival? Or is it totally separate?
Yeah, they're different. They're very, very different festivals. But I would say yes, that there are things that, particularly if we work with a vendor, that we can leverage that relationship to make sure that we're communicating well, that we have the right things in place. If it happens to involve any kind of pricing, there are some opportunities there. We use a lot of the consistent communication tools for how we reach out to members and sponsors and community members. So, if something's worked really well with one, it's likely to translate well to the other. So there's that. But they are very different events, and they kind of sit in different communities. So while we have a lot of crossover as a regional chamber, we hope to involve people across communities. They're different in the way they function as downtowns. So,
yeah.
Cranberry doesn't technically have a downtown, but they absolutely have the heart of a business district. So, doing honor to that, making sure that we're recognizing and inviting people into that area is important.
That's great. And speaking of Cranberry Festival, that'll be coming up in September.
September 20th. It's feels like weeks away. I guess we can say it's a month and a half away.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe we're closing in on August 1st. That's coming so soon. And I hesitate to say we have a breather in August. We have time for preparation in August. It's a good prep month. We do have some things going on. We have our steak fry, which is a well-oiled machine. That should be fine. But in September, we have a very, very busy month that is a combination of our own things, which including the startup of our leadership program and Cranberry Festival. And we have a lot of partners that are doing things. So we're excited about the Main Street is hosting a arts and music festival here in downtown Oil City. Bridge Builders is celebrating their 50th anniversary with a gala. They are good partners, and we're excited to be able to attend that and encouraging people to celebrate with them. Our library is intending to open up the theater, and they too are planning a gala, and I know I'm missing some things. But those are some highlights of what's going on in September that can keep people busy and out and about and enjoying community. Those things are primarily here in Oil City. But there are things all over the region. We're excited to, make the trip to Franklin and Titusville and the surrounding communities to take in the things that are going on there. And here's, your reminder for the day is if you know of something going on that you are inviting the entire community, the region, and others, get it on our community calendar. It's very, very easy to throw it there. It's beherevenango.org. Is the website, the community calendar's there. And if you just can't figure it out, give our office a call and we'll hopefully teach you how to do it so you can do it for everything in the future. But we also can assist with getting things on that calendar.
That's great. And probably best to get it out there well ahead of time so people can take
if you're planning something that's a year away, and you want to put it on that calendar, you get it out there. That calendar is not only a resource for figuring out what to do, but it's also a great place to look when you're planning an event and you want to see who else is doing things that might be complementary or might be the same time and kind of create conflict. So get your things on that calendar as soon as possible. They can be changed. In many cases, they'll need our help to update if something is canceled or needs more information, but it kind of depends on where that information is coming from. So if you're posting events on Facebook or out to Eventbrite, and we may pick that up on our own, and if you're fixing those events, we may get the fix. But it's important to get those on the calendar so that everyone knows what's going on.
I've been in meetings where somebody will say, well, what about this weekend? What's going on this weekend? And I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, okay, so you pull up the multiple calendars and just kind of see, okay, this community has this and this is going on here. Because you do find that people will travel around to take in events.
For sure. And I want to remind listeners, too, that calendar is available for the whole region. So Titusville, put your events on the calendar. I think there's reason to have some Meadville events on the calendar if they're, got a telemarketer that just won't give up,
Get that warranty, Susan. Get that warranty.
Yeah, really. I need that insurance.
Yeah.
If you think that the Venango community will benefit from knowing about your event, and it is an inclusive event for families, the kind of things that tourists and or busy up a family over the weekend, get it on there. And we'll try to use good judgment if we're like, oh, that's a stretch, that's not really fitting for our intentions for our community calendar, then we won't approve it to the calendar. But it's worth a try.
Yeah. You mentioned Kat, and she's had a busy week this week. I asked her last week if she enjoyed being in an environment where you encourage the employees to better themselves, and she appreciated that greatly. And she again, we talk about it, just the environment you're in, being able to be creative and help people and, help your community. It's a great thing that benefits everybody in the region. But speak a little bit to supporting Kat in that journey and, others in the office professionally.
Yeah, well, where she is, she's out at Villanova right now, so she's back to college. She's, I think, living in a college dorm for a few days, and this program is highly esteemed in chamber world. It is a chance to sit down with your peers, some that have been in the industry a while. I took the class well into my chamber career. Some that are brand new. There are chambers that as soon as they bring someone on staff, they send them to this program, and there are classrooms across the country. There's about 4 different classrooms you can attend. There are 4 days of classes, and they include everything from the legal aspects, the ethical aspects, the economic development, fundraising, membership and membership value. There's an array of classes, and they are taught by industry experts. And when I say industry experts, some from within the chamber industry and some within the legal and accounting and those industries that have worked with chambers and know and understand how things apply to us. So, I love the experience. I made friends that I can reach out to for help, and knew that I wanted other employees of ours to have the chance to do that. So Kat was the first to take advantage. So this has been 4 years. I know it's challenging for her because sitting still all day is a lot, but I know from my class, there's a lot of freedom to be your best, and they do give you breaks, and they incorporate a lot of networking opportunities throughout the week. So I am confident that she's getting a chance to get up and burn off a little bit of that energy in between things, and will come back with her brain exploding with information. I'm really excited to hear. Because what we know about the leadership journey is there are changes all the time. So she's going to come back with new information that may challenge some things that I think about how this chamber is run, and maybe things that we need to be doing a little different, or we need to add to what we're doing. So I'm really excited to get to really debrief with her.
Oh, that's great. I have a couple follow-ups with that, but let's do this real quick. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Susan Williams with us here this morning, President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. October, I think, is your chamber event, correct? Before you head off to Italy?
As in Italy, yes.
Well,
yes.
but you have the yearly chamber gathering, correct?
Oh, but it is in November this year.
November. Okay.
Yeah, the way they decide when that state conference is held is dependent on the host. So the host chamber puts in a bid and suggests, what weekends they're available or week that they're available. So we'll be at Seven Springs this year, and so we're having to skirt a little bit the high seasons to make sure it's affordable. We chambers have pretty modest budgets for travel and even for our professional development. So in our case, we take the whole team. I think it's really important that I not come back from that conference, all excited and ready with new ideas, and everyone else is kind of slugged away at their desk for a week. So they get to be part of talking to their peers in the industry, learning, about what's going on in the industry. So that is, I can't remember the exact dates, but it'll be here before we know it.
Do you find that you have businesses? I mean, if you look at it, you're leading by example, supporting your employees with their, continuing education and advancement. Do you have businesses saying to you, boy, Susan, we really like what you're doing. You're really showing us what we should be doing. And I'm going to tie in the leadership program.
Yeah.
Because here's an opportunity for a business who might be looking at you going, boy, I really like that model. And it shows that we're investing in our employees. Well, the leadership program is an avenue for, a business to invest in their employees.
It absolutely is. It is a, pretty low point of entry to, in terms of cost, and even the commitment from a time standpoint. Most people can let a valued employee take one day a month to better themselves, to make more connections in the community. That's the thing we hear the most is the graduating class goes away and says, wow, I have so much more knowledge of who's who in the community. I've now made this new group of leadership friends. We continue to look for ways to connect across classes. Now that we're 7 years of graduates, we've got people from year one that are really valuable to the current class. So it is really an investment, and then it's another connection to the chamber. And if people like what we're doing and want more information, I think you'll be hard-pressed to find someone much more transparent than me and willingness to share, how we manage everything from making our financial decisions to making our hiring decisions to succession planning. And those are all things that I look to my peers and to other industry experts and to my members to say, help me. Am I doing things the right way? And do you understand what we're doing? And then sharing that out to others. And I think most of what we do is really transferable. So you might say, well, we're a corporation with thousands of employees. It just doesn't apply. But every corporation has departments, and it has local people, and it's making decisions every day, right down to the sole proprietor who's just trying to figure out how to get it out of bed every day and deal with customers. I think we're experiencing many of the same things. So, to the extent that it's helpful for me or one of the members of my team to sit down with, with a business owner or someone working in business and kind of hash that out and see, where we have things in common, we're willing to do that.
Excellent. I can't believe we're heading into August, obviously newsletter time, but you're also looking at a great time. Kids are going to be transitioning, going back to school, sports starting up, holiday season's coming. I mean, there's just so much.
Overwhelming.
It is, yeah. But it's also very exciting, I think, to a lot of people. But newsletter, that should be arriving soon?
Very soon. That'll hit the printer today. So I think we've probably hit the limit on what information we can include. It would, if you have an insert that we haven't received yet, you've got minutes to get that to us. My staff's not quite here yet. Not everybody will be in till after 9, but I assume that sometime pretty soon after that, we'll start the process of collating. So we like to have everything that's going to be included for that process. So, Tessa will put the final, dots and cross the T's, and then it will hit the printer, and then that will be a 5-hour print job. And by tomorrow, those will be at the post office on their way to you. Let's see, tomorrow is the 31st. So sometime between tomorrow and Friday, well, it'll be tomorrow because I think we've got some vacations kicking in. And I think actually my team might take a little downtime on Friday. So I think you'll see that will be posted online for your viewing pleasure sometime by the end of day It's today Wednesday, tomorrow.
Okay.
Sometime by the end of the day tomorrow. So, yeah.
Well, it well-deserved. I know Christa looked exhausted this morning, and she's got Thunder in the City, and she's like, Sunday, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not, I had the opportunity to put my feet up a little bit Sunday as well. We end up in the afternoon, and we go a little into the early evening, but it was nice. It's nice to go home and just do normal things, wash a little dishes, do a little wash, because we'll tell you, we've all got a big pile of clothes on the floor by the end of a festival, because you're just going home and tossing off today's T-shirt and figuring out which color tomorrow's T-shirt is. And it's, when you're involved in these kind of events, it is very physically demanding, as well as, all the decision-making that goes on. So we really appreciate everyone that supports us, through sponsorships, through volunteering, and through just the Attagirls that we get throughout the week.
If there's companies that are like, boy, I'll tell you, we really enjoy Oil Heritage Festival, and boy, the Chamber does so much, but we're not members yet. What's your pitch to them to make that phone call today to have that conversation?
Well, there's a lot of reasons to belong to the Chamber, but I think one that, we only really have a few days of the year that we really, really, really focus on it, but these festivals really are part of what unites a community. They create community pride. Perhaps you saw my quote having to do with the fact that these are somebody's good old days. So we talk a lot about the nostalgia of our memories as children and the great things, and we talk about how things have changed and they're just not as good as they used to be. Well, these will be the days our children will speak of. So if you as a business, as a company, want to be making those memories, those are the things that attach our people to our community, that say, that's the place I want to go back to. Maybe I want to go back to live, to start a business. If you as a business think that you benefit from building those kind of relationships, we think that the investment in the Chamber ensures that we can continue to do those things. We're like everyone else in this current economy. We are challenged by, members who are having to tighten their belts, and by, sponsorships that come and go. So we have to evaluate at the end of the festival, what things stay, what things go. Can we grow it, and in what ways? So membership is a great way to start, because that's our true sustainability, so that we have the staff in place and the infrastructure to make sure we can keep doing the things we do. And then above and beyond that are the opportunities for sponsorship. From a volunteer standpoint, we always can use an extra hand moving a table, but we're not really looking to have big crews of people, running around and doing a lot of that work. We have a good team that can do that. We love organizations that want to add an event, even a modest event where they're out involved, and again, offering opportunities for families and children to make memories.
That's great.
So we have so many that do, and there's always room for more.
And again, it's also kind of an individual thing too. So if you have those types of questions, or if you are a member and you're just trying to figure out how can we do more and how maybe be more involved, that would be a time to call you and set up something where you can sit down and have that.
Yeah, in my 21 years, I've certainly seen many businesses that were highly, highly involved in festivals and events, 15 years ago, but they're in a different cycle of their business, so they may or may not be able to help. It may have changed how they're involved. But I've also seen some businesses that had no interest in these kind of events 15 years ago, who now are understanding that when they're trying to hire and retain employees that want to live in communities where their families feel connected, it's important for them to be involved too, even if it's just sweeping their sidewalk and cleaning their windows, some way to make sure that they're a part of this event. So I appreciate the platform for sharing that information, and either Kat or I will join you next week. We'll see.
Thanks, Susan. Take care. All the best.
Thank you. Have a
Good
great
job.
week.
Congrats.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's Susan Williams joining us, President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services, along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services, from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks closed lower on Tuesday, with the Dow dropping nearly 0.5% and the S&P 500 and NASDAQ each shedding roughly 0.33%. A host of Dow components reported earnings, including United Health. Shares of the health insurer stumbled 7.5% and were the biggest drag on the blue chip index after a disappointing profit forecast. Mike Muscio is president of FBB Capital Partners.
A little bit of a pullback here on some weak earnings numbers from some fairly significant companies. United Healthcare reinstated guidance, but it was below what folks were expecting, so that's weighing on the Dow for sure. And so, puts and takes. It's healthy to have some red days on the screen, as long as they're not too red, but to have some red days to offset some of the green days.
Shares of Boeing dropped nearly 4.5%, despite the plane maker reporting a smaller second quarter loss. Merck's stock dipped more than 1.5% after its quarterly results. The drug maker said it was extending its pause on shipments of HPV vaccine Gardasil to China until at least the end of 2025 due to weak demand. UPS shares plunged 10.5% after the delivery giant again declined to issue annual revenue and margin forecasts, deepening concerns that President Trump's continually changing trade policy is weighing on the company. And shares of Whirlpool spiraled about 13.5% after the home appliances maker slashed its annual earnings forecast and dividend, citing pressure from a pull forward in imports by rivals ahead of Trump's tariffs. Investors now turn their attention to the conclusion of the Federal Reserve's policy meeting on Wednesday. Remarks by Chair Jerome Powell will be closely monitored to gauge the timing of any potential rate cuts.
Well, here's a quick look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Partly cloudy today with temperatures in the upper 80s. Enjoy it. Things will cool down starting tomorrow. Partly cloudy this evening, becoming cloudy after midnight, lows in the upper 60s. Thursday, looking at rain and a high of 70. Friday, 1st of August, partly cloudy, mid-70s. Saturday, mostly sunny with temperatures in the upper 70s. Sunday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Area temperatures this morning, Meadville checking in at 72 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh, 71. 72 in Titusville, 70 in Franklin, 69 in Oil City. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Joining us this morning, our friends from ERA Richmond Real Estate. We got Mike and Ben with us. Gentlemen, good morning. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Just for the audience who might not know who you are, just give us a quick introduction.
I'm Mike Crowther. I'm a real estate agent at ERA Richmond Real Estate out of the Titusville office. And this is Ben Berger.
Yep. Ben here. Yep, broker record of ERA Richmond Real Estate. Not the owner. My grandmother, Linda Peters, is still the owner. I took over in her place for broker of record, and I work out of the Meadville office there on North Main Street. So,
well, Ben, welcome. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Mike, Mike, good to see you too. It seems like we were just talking about some great listings, and it's been a busy summer for you. So, give us a quick update, business news, and then we'll get into what's been going on this summer. So, Ben, you took over, so congratulations.
Yep, thank you. So it was a slow start this winter, early in the year, but now things are just kind of picking up, and it still is going strong. I mean, it slowed down a little bit compared to last month. It seemed like everybody was busy, and you needed to ask other agents for help, and like you weren't enough being one person.
Yeah,
you needed to be two people at once. So. It's kind of slowed down since last month, but it's still really steady right now. It's good.
That's great. Mike, I think when we were talking, I think weather plays a big role in that. Winter was really hard, and I think some people were like, "Hey, when it gets a little bit better out there, we'll come and figure things out." And but it's been nice this summer so far.
Yeah, I know the past couple weeks out of the Titusville office, we've been busy. Heather Schmader is the other agent in there. There's a couple other agents as well, but Heather and I have been extremely busy. I would say in the past month, we've had more foot traffic in our Titusville office than we've had the past 6 months. And it's just on a rolling basis. And that's between, upcoming commercial listings, vacant land listings, residential listings, and representing buyers. So we're busy.
So maybe we can break it down into just the different markets, Titusville, Meadville, Conneaut Lake. I know that's a popular area as well. But Mike, let's start with you. This side of Crawford County, what are people looking for in terms of buyers? Are people still wanting some land? Is it mixed up a little bit? And then we'll add the commercial side of it.
I say right now between residential listings and land, it's about 50-50. I have just as many land transactions going, sellers wanting to list their property and buyers wanting to buy land. Okay, and then the residential piece, just whatever they can find. Some people are, very specific. They want to be out in the country, have a ranch home or a 2-story home with a couple acres. And then we're also getting an influx of people buying in the city of Titusville, on the outskirts. And I even had an individual from the state of Washington come back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he retired out of the military. This was his hometown. And he came in, we hit the ground running, and it took a while, but we found the right home. So,
so that was my question. My next question to you is: Are these people just are they moving here for the first time, or is there a connection here, or what are you finding?
I've got 2 buyers right now. Like I said, the one from the state of Washington. This was his hometown. Actually, out by Corey. Okay, but he does have family in Titusville, and then I have another individual. Her and her husband are retired. They're from Oil City. They want to be, between Titusville and Seneca, and they want to sell their house in Tennessee and come back here. So we got several buyers that are coming back to the area.
Wow, that's great. Ben, what are you seeing your side of the county?
Yeah, over by us in Meadville area, Conneaut Lake, people tend to just buy the move-in ready homes. That's what a lot of people like. Before, it seemed like if you had a fixer-upper, it seemed like everybody would kind of jump on that. Now it's kind of like investors that are jumping on those, and they're not going off the market as quick as they have been in the past couple of years. So move-in ready, you got your bathrooms all fixed up nice, remodeled those, the kitchen looks nice. That's what's flying off the market right now. As far as land goes, it depends on the area, the school district, where it's at, what's on the land. That's just how land is everywhere, I think. But for the most part, land goes pretty quick. And then commercial, I know you were touching on commercial a little bit. Commercial's just been tough in our area. I think anywhere in Crawford County it's been tough just because it's not somewhere, like Cranberry Township, Wexford, somewhere down south towards Pittsburgh, or like up in Erie even goes quick. And Crawford County, commercial doesn't seem to really, you got to find the right buyer for it. It's a very niche market for that. So it's hard to find somebody, that's trying to build a new business.
More to go through with a commercial property, or at least for somebody starting a business? I mean, because they have to go and present business plans and all this. Is that part of the reason it takes a little longer?
Yeah, and the biggest thing is the profit and loss statement for a company that's wanting to sell it turnkey. If somebody's getting a loan, you got to make sure that the P&L can pay the mortgage on it. Okay, so that's one of the big things. But also, there's a lot of moving parts to get the commercial deal under contract from the time you list it to find the right buyer, make sure their financials can go, and then, if it's going to be a right fit for that buyer.
What does profit mean?
Yeah,
probably jot this down.
That's a big thing.
But there's a lot of opportunities, though, aren't there? I mean, if somebody really wanted to, and you both can address this, if somebody wanted to sit down with you and say, hey, I'm interested in not starting a business, but purchasing a business, they could come in and have that conversation with you guys?
Oh, yeah. I have a buyer right now that I'm working with, and he has different avenues he'd like to approach. Okay. The one business is totally different than the other one, but he's investing in them, and he's looking at all possibilities. Because I know Ben mentioned the investor piece, and I know we're seeing a lot of that here in the Titusville area, not just in commercial, but investing in rental properties, for example. Okay, but on the commercial side, there are a lot of people that they want to get a proprietorship in it, maybe bring other people on board, maybe not necessarily be there every day running the company, but have an investment in it and own it. And we're seeing some of that too.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm seeing a lot of leads come in. Anytime you have a rental or a commercial rental, just commercial property in general, you get a lot of leads that are investors from out of state. They just kind of want to know, profit and loss, and kind of want to take part in this area.
Yeah, and they obviously have a right to figure that out and know what they're getting involved with.
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever, are you ever out maybe at the store and you hear people talking about, I hear this property is going to be this, and you're like, in your mind thinking, no, it's way off.
Yeah. Occasionally you hear something like that.
Yeah. So, any specific properties you want to bring up to highlight? Is there anything, Titusville, Meadville, again, Connie Lake? And I guess, what is your reach? How far do you go?
We go quite a ways.
Yeah. There really, technically there isn't a limit. We can go anywhere in Pennsylvania, but yeah, our area, at least my mom and I kind of work together, and she'll go as far as Erie. I've shown houses down in Sharon before.
Oh, wow.
So it just depends on what you're comfortable with, because as a real estate agent, you're there for the buyer and the seller, and you want to be helpful to them. So if you're showing houses out in Harrisburg, not that you would go there, but if you did,
it's got to be cost effective.
Yeah. And you don't really know that market anyway, so there's no point in going or trying to sell something. You might as well just refer it out. So we try to help people the best we can, and we try to stick to our market, which is typically, for my mother and I, Erie County, Crawford County, and maybe a little bit of Mercer County.
Well, if you get a list of all the counties, you got that we cover with all 3 offices, Meadville, Connie Lake, and Titusville. You got Erie, Crawford, Warren, Venango, Mercer, Forest, sometimes Allegheny, but there's almost 8 counties at Warren County that we cover, because right here, Warren County, Venango County, Crawford County, Forest County, Mercer, you're out there a little bit, but there's 5 counties right there that we cover right here.
Yeah, in a short radius.
Yeah. And I know, because last week I hit almost all 5 of them. The past 2 weeks, hit all 5 of them counties.
Wow.
And then, like he said, there's a buyer that I have that they want to be down the Slippery Rock area. They're from here, but they want to be down there. And I know an agent down in that area, and just to do that buyer due diligence, if something pops up on the market, I'm 45 minutes away, refer it out. You got to take care of your buyer that way. So, the network is huge. Even though it might be an agent out of our office, we still network to take care of our clients.
And that has to make you feel good, knowing that somebody appreciates what you've done for them and they want to work with you, right? But it's also like, okay, well, there's somebody down there that might be able to do it a little bit better, handle it. They'll know the area a little bit more. And this is really cool, because again, every day is probably different for you guys. But you mentioned, people wanting to move in and have a house that's sort of ready to go. Is that what you're advising people that are on the selling side of things? Like, when you're going through and checking out a property with somebody and they're getting ready to sell, are you also providing them with information like, here, I think you guys should, maybe get this fixed or do this? What's that process like?
Yeah, so it all depends. Not everyone is the same. Like you said, every day is different.
Yeah.
And if it was black and white, I could read it out of a book. I could just give every seller, a little picture book and tell them what to do exactly, and their house will sell right away. But it's not that easy. So it just depends. Some sellers are really adamant that they want your help. They want you to tell them exactly what to do on everything. Other ones are like, this is what it is. I'm going to sell it as is. I don't really care. But the ones that do want help, we'll give them pointers. If the paint's looking a little rough and everything else looks good, we'll tell them maybe to throw down some paint. Or if they're talking about the flooring, it looks bad. It just depends on the property. Sometimes we'll tell them, new flooring will actually really help this thing sell. Or other times it's just like, well, the rest of the house isn't, all that great. So I would just leave it and, let the buyer have their own imagination. But we try to help them out the best we can. Again, the biggest things that sell are redoing bathrooms and kitchens. That's really the biggest point in our area. A new bathroom and a new kitchen will make it look good.
And there's a few things that, mechanical wise, that you always point out regardless of the condition of the house. For example, hot water heater. Make sure it's got that extension tube on the blow-off valve. Okay, that's a $10 fix. Maybe making sure that their GFI, the ground faulted receptacles, near kitchen sink and the bathroom sink. Okay, because sometimes, on a conventional, some appraisers will call them, some won't. On government loans, those will get called if they're not done. So you can go through and say, your house is immaculate, it's perfect, but you don't have these. We recommend getting those done. And especially the breaker panel, make sure there's no double taps. But there are some mechanical things that we look at and say, hey, cover this right now and save the hassle later.
So the extension cord I have running to my neighbor to power our house, I'd have to get that addressed if I was ever going to sell my house.
Yeah, just don't run the meter backwards.
Oh.
Take notes.
Things I wish I knew. I'm joking, of course. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Friends from ERA Richmond Real Estate with us here this morning. I find what you do fascinating because it's got to be so cool to see the inside of. You drive past homes all the time, right? And I know when there's a for sale sign, you always wonder, like, I wonder what it looks like in there. And I think that leads people to go online and look at pictures and, just dream and imagine. Does it still feel exciting to you, even after all this time in the business?
Oh yeah, because when you walk into a house, every house has a story. Okay, just a real quick example. When I first got into real estate, there was down in Titusville, not far from East Main Street, there was what they call a small mansion. Okay, and another agent had it listed. I showed the buyers, but the sellers were there. And they were two sisters, and, they wanted to sell. They were from Florida. Well, the story goes, we're going through this house, and it's really cool, a lot of history. Well, when those ladies were girls, little girls, they can remember their grandparents, when they would come, the Carnegies and the Rockefellers would come in and have dinner there at this house because they were investors in the steel mills here in Titusville. And I just said, wow. I said, that's cool. She goes, oh, yeah. She said, we were little, but we heard Mr. Rockefeller, Mr. Carnegie, and, it's some of their family. And it's like, wow. Now, that's a story.
Yeah.
And it was right down here in Titusville.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is funny you bring that up because, I mean, as a kid growing up, my grandmother has been in it for over 50 years. My mother has been in it for older than I am, over 30 years now, or 30 on the dot.
And she's only 36, so that's wow.
Yeah, but we would always ride around in the car with them as kids, and they would be looking at houses, driving down the road, and oh, I've been in that one, or oh, the story on that one, or that was a cool one to go through, and I'm like, what are you guys saying? Nobody cares. Like growing up, I'm like, who cares? You guys are crazy. But now when I'm driving down the road and I have a friend in the car, we're going somewhere, I'm like, oh yeah, I sold that one. I've been in that one. That one was a fun sale, or that one was a tough one to sell, and they're probably thinking the same thing I was as a kid in the car. They're probably like, dude, cool for you. Like nobody cares, man.
Yeah, but I do you ever go through a property and in the back of your mind you're thinking, boy, I think I'd like to take this. This is...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm always texting my wife saying, you're going to love this place.
Yeah.
So how many houses am I going to love? She's just, especially ones out in the country that are cabin-y style.
Yeah.
And she's even got to the point, I've been doing this 5 years now. I got licensed 5 years in July 20th. I've been with the company 5 years.
Wow. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. I just forgot about that. But anyways... my wife, she'll be driving somewhere, or she'll text me. She says, hey, there's a for sale by owner, and sometimes you call and you get the listing, but she keeps her eye out too.
I think we've talked about this before, Mike, but Ben, maybe you can chime in on this. There are people that will try to sell a property on their own, right? But there's probably a lot of things they're not factoring in, right? So why should they be reaching out and having a conversation with you guys?
Yeah, right. So I always tell people, if you want to sell it on your own and you're comfortable doing that, you've done it before, go for it. It doesn't hurt my feelings for you to do that. We're just here, agents are here for you to help the transaction move smoothly, try to get you the most money that you can for your property. Sometimes you'll see for sale by owners, they'll have them listed way too high, then it sits a long time, and then they end up getting less than what they probably could have gotten for it if they would have been in the right price to begin with or marketed the right way. So we're there to try to get you the most money you possibly can for your house. And also, like I said, I hear of all the time for sale by owners, they'll be selling it and say, I'll never do that again. I'm going to use an agent next time, because they had just a massive headache trying to do it on their own. And that I'm not saying, you have to use an agent, but if you don't want that headache or you want to be stress-free and have us handle everything for you, then that's when you would want to use an agent. So we're there to just help you out the best we can, make everything move smoothly.
Most profit for the seller, least amount of time, least amount of hassle.
Yep.
That you try to.
Yeah.
I've had several people reach out to me and say they're going to list it themselves. They go to Walmart, do the for sale by owner, and a couple weeks later they're like, okay, get this done, because we take it off their plate. We sign the papers, do what we got to do to get it listed. and then wait for the phone call. We'll let you know when the showings are. Here's an offer or multiple offers. Let's go from there.
Yeah, I don't think sometimes they realize, Mike, and maybe we talked about this too, there's like a whole team behind you that's going to help with that. Yeah. From the marketing to, pictures, all of that, right? How about the advice that you're also handling with them is, hey, this needs done, or maybe tweak this, but that kind of stuff's invaluable.
Yeah. And what I'm seeing recently is, and I know Heather and our in Titusville here, her and I have talked about it. People want to list their home in a couple acres or vacant land or whatever, and they'll say, well, I think it'd list for X. And we're like, that's way low on the other end. Like he said, sometimes they list over too high. Well, sometimes we're thinking, they'll say 100,000. It's like, you realize you're close to 200,000 on this? And like, really? It's like, yeah.
Wow.
Especially land. I've gone on 2 land listing appointments here this past week, and they think, well, maybe 1,500 an acre, and I'm like, where's my checkbook? I'll give you 1,500 right now for it.
Yeah. Right.
And it's like, you're close to 4,500 an acre, and they're like, really? And it's like, yeah. So sometimes it's the other way too.
Yeah. Well, Ben, I'm sure it's kind of like trading in a car where they'll tell you this is what it's worth, and you're like, oh no, it's worth more than that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're putting your feelings into it, and it's nice to have somebody on the outside say, no, well, here's the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
And Mike, as you say, it can go the other way as well. So
for sure. Yeah. I mean, I can't relate to sellers like that because I've never sold a home. So sometimes their sentimental value, it is what's making them think it's worth so much, or all the time blood, sweat, tears that they put into the house to make it how they wanted it. And that's why they have it valued so high. But yeah, as somebody like a real estate agent, we can just give you the numbers and show you the data and tell you, hey, it's not. I mean, we could try it there if they want to list it or want to do it for sale by owner, but we can try it there. But we're probably right around this number instead.
And so somebody doesn't have to wait for a sign to pop up in a yard to call you guys and say, hey, I want to look at this. If somebody's starting to think, maybe it's time for a move, they can come in and have that conversation so that you're kind of working for them, right? Where you're looking for those properties, or if something comes up, you're calling them. They're on a list of people that you're working with.
Yeah. Yeah, funny about that, though, is sometimes they don't know what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do that, and I've done that before, and I've had a couple buyers when I first started. They tell me everything they want. They want at least 3 beds, at least 2 bathrooms, this is my max price, and then and then I'll set them up on a search, and it'll automatically email them anytime a property like that comes up, and I just tell them to keep looking on their own, because you never know. There could be for sale by owners that I can't automatically send you, but so if you see something, let me know. And then they'll send me stuff that's listed by another agent that it didn't get emailed to them, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, this doesn't match your criteria at all. Like, this is not even close to what you told me. And they're like, well, we want to go see it. And I'm like, okay. And I have no problem showing it to them, but it's just like, sometimes it's hard. You got to feel out your buyers too when you put them on a search, and then you go look at a couple. You kind of got to know what they are looking for. You kind of got to listen to them, and then change the criteria based on what you see, not based off what they tell you, because sometimes they'll miss out on ones and say, what the heck, you didn't send me this.
I had a friend in the car business say, everybody thinks they want a certain color, but that's really the least, because if this is the only thing we have and they really want it, they'll get it regardless of the color. But hey, how do folks get a hold of you? What phone numbers for each office if they want to work with you, and where can they get more information?
Yeah, so our office in Meadville's phone number is 814-337-6000. And then my personal cell phone number, if you want to reach out to me directly, is 814-853-6748.
Yep, my cell's 814-516-1285. And 337-6000 is the main number. They can call and just ask for any office, Connie Lake, Meadville, or Titusville.
Guys,
it's been ringing busy.
Good to see you this morning.
Yeah,
all the
nice
best.
seeing you as well.
Take care.